Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. It's Saturday morning. Hope that you're enjoying your weekend time. Our teacher for this week is John Welwood. Before today, I have added a thought from Jiddu Krishnamurti, which is really applicable because he was quite an inspiration in John Welwood's own journey of learning. So we get John Welwood and Jiddu Krishnamurti teaching us together this morning. Sunmari, good morning. Estelle, good morning. Anna Marie, good morning. Happy Saturday. Let's get into it. A quote from John Welwood that says, "Awareness born of love is the only force that can bring healing and renewal." Awareness born of love. This is the only force that can bring healing and renewal. Nala, good morning. It's good to see you. Hello. Anthony, good morning. Really awesome seeing you with us live, Anthony. Charlene, good morning. Happy Saturday. Awesome seeing you all here. Right, awareness born of love. I feel like we need to just dig a little deeper there. What does that mean? To understand what awareness born of love means, it might be helpful to be reminded of its opposite, the kind of awareness that we find easily. Awareness born of fear. Being deeply aware of everything that is wrong with us. All of our flaws staring us in the eye with accusatory expressions on their faces. What John Welwood speaks of is awareness on a deeper level, but it really can be quite difficult to get beyond our own knee-jerk reaction to our glaring imperfections. So a thought from Jiddu Krishnamurti really explains this well. He says, "To understand oneself is to become aware of every thought and feeling without condemnation. When you condemn, you put a stop to your feelings and thoughts. But if you do not condemn, justify, or resist, then the content of your thoughts will reveal itself. Experiment and you will see." Awareness born of love is beautifully described by Krishnamurti as becoming aware of every thought and feeling without judging it. Allowing difficult emotions to arise without trying to numb them or avoid them is a journey that leads to the understanding of how our inner experience moves. We get to understand what the origin is for each of these events, and we see that whatever comes will also go, leaving us as the strong presence that was able to gently hold all of this movement. Last thought from John Welwood says, "Forget about enlightenment, sit down wherever you are, and listen to the wind singing in your veins. There is nothing outside of you to reach for, no distant goal somewhere in the future that will finally make you experience fulfillment. Honor what is calling within you right now. Pay attention to what needs to be allowed to be felt. This brings clarity, and clarity will show you what your next steps are." Stefan, good morning. Happy Saturday. Today's meditation is an opportunity to exercise the muscle of awareness born of love, which simply is awareness without judgment. On a Saturday, we cycle through our physical senses, giving ourselves a few moments to experience every physical sense and be conscious about this practice, that we can, in fact, get to a place where we can have awareness of every little thing, physical as well as inside, emotional, and become much better at just having the experience be held for a little while. Danae, good morning. Happy Saturday. If you're all ready, let's go there. You can close your eyes and let's float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. As you exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. While you continue your own full body breathing, we are embracing every experience that this body is having right now. And to really get in touch with every experience that this body feels, we're going to check in with different parts of our body, making sure that we have softened there, and we're carrying as little tension as possible. So for your next exhale, as you breathe out, bring your attention to your forehead, the space between your eyes. Do you sometimes find yourself carrying a frown there? And in this moment, are you able to completely soften that space? No frown. With your next exhale, bring your attention to the area in and around your mouth. Do you sometimes find yourself grinding your teeth? Or your tongue pressed hard against the roof of your mouth? Or feel your jaw muscles really clamped? In this moment, however, are you completely softened in the area in and around your mouth? With your next exhale, bring your attention to your neck and shoulders. Do you sometimes find your shoulders pulled up high, almost level with your ears? And do you then remind yourself to soften? Do you then bring your shoulders down, take a deep breath, and have your shoulders drop, hanging loosely off the sides of your body? Shift your awareness to your stomach area, your abdominal region. Tension hides there very effectively sometimes. And in this moment, are you able to completely soften there? And bring your awareness to your butt cheeks. Make sure you're not clenching. Soften completely. And lastly, bring your awareness to your legs and your arms, especially your hands. Another place that often hides tension well until we recognize it. It's easy to have hands balled into fists tightly without noticing. In this moment, are your hands lying easily, half open, in your lap? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles, going forward and to the left, and also forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. And also lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least as much as we are able to, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving, and feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, specifically check in with this body. This is our journey today, to check in with this body. As you take a deep breath and as you dive deep inside, take a moment to say hello to this body. Perhaps even wrap your arms around this body and say, "Hello, body. It really is awesome to have you." Take your next big breath. our journey of the senses. And perhaps today we'll call it specifically our journey of awareness. Starts at the top and works its way through our body. The first stop is our eyes. For this exercise, we keep our eyes closed, but it really is about what our eyes would see. So as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, ask yourself, without opening your eyes, what would be the most obvious thing that you'd see if you were to open your eyes? And then as you take a deep breath and as you dive deep inside, spend the time using your mind to study this obvious thing. See it from all of its angles, see all of its color, and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. We'll stay in the same spot, but change gears. We're still bringing our awareness to what we would see if we were to open our eyes, but this time find what would be the least obvious thing that you would see if you were to open your eyes. And then, as you take a deep breath and as you dive deep into you, use your mind to study this less obvious object. See all of its color, see it from all of its angles, and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. John Welwood spoke this morning about awareness born of love. And Krishnamurti explained that for us. He says that awareness born of love simply is having awareness without judgment, without condemnation and criticism mixed into this awareness. Notice in this moment the ease with which you're able to have awareness born of love. Simply allowing the experience that your eyes would have given you to be seen, felt, and held. We'll take a step down to our ears and what we can hear. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, bring your awareness to the most obvious sound that you can hear. Listen deep into this obvious sound and see if you can discover different layers to this obvious sound. Are there different vibrations you become aware of? Take your next big breath. We'll change gears. We'll always stay with what we can hear. This time, as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, bring your awareness to the faintest sound that you can possibly hear right now. What is just barely a whisper? Lean into that whisper and see to what extent you can hear all of it. Take your next big breath. Notice the ease with which you are able to have awareness without judgment, without criticism mixed into this awareness. In this moment, it's pretty easy to have awareness born of love. Simply open to the experience, curious about the experience. We take another step down, and for these next 2 stops, change your breathing to whatever you need it to be in order to smell and to taste. So with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, bring your awareness to smell. Is there any obvious smell that you can find right now? Take your next big breath. And then changing gears, when you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, bring some curiosity to your sense of smell. Is there anything else you can pick up? Anything besides the first obvious smell? Take your next big breath. Notice the ease with which you're able to bring your awareness in a space of love, acceptance of the experience. John Welwood's message was, this is the only thing that brings healing, is awareness born of love. Because awareness that comes with fear, that comes with judgment, that comes with criticism, shuts us down, closes us up. We'll take another step down to your mouth, your tongue, your taste buds. With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, see if you can find any obvious taste right now. Take your next big breath. And then we'll change gears. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, be curious about taste. Is there any other taste you can pick up besides the first obvious one? Take your next big breath. Awareness born of love almost always includes a bit of curiosity. Awareness that comes from a place of love always asks the question, what am I not seeing? What am I not understanding? We have one more stop. The surface of your skin. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, scan the surface of your skin and find that spot with the most obvious sensation. And as you take your big breath and dive deep inside, see if you can describe to yourself the different sensations, the different pressures you're able to experience in that obvious spot. Take your next big breath. And then, changing gears, find on the surface of your skin a spot with the slightest sensation. Perhaps you can only just feel how fabric gently rests against a spot of skin. Or perhaps you can become aware of the feeling of air touching your forehead or your cheek. Take your next big breath. We'll take one more big breath together to slip out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. Awareness is a muscle that we can exercise and become a lot better with. John Welwood says, awareness born of love. This is the only force that can bring healing and renewal. Awareness born of love. However, it does take practice, this muscle of awareness. Because it's very, very easy when we try and improve awareness to become very aware of the loud things within us, the loud voice of the inner critic, the glaring obviousness of our imperfections, our flaws. And it can take a while to get beyond that. But if you're able to do this exercise, bring your awareness to your physical senses without any criticism, without any judgment, then you can keep practicing this muscle of awareness and extend it to other areas of your life too. To even come face to face with your biggest flaws and still be able to just hold that experience. No condemnation, just see it. I want to share with you again the way that Krishnamurti describes this. He says, to understand oneself is to become aware of every thought and feeling, but without condemnation. Because when you condemn every time you have judgment about a thought or a feeling, then you put a stop to your feelings and thoughts. But if you don't judge, if you don't condemn or justify or resist, then the content of your thought will eventually reveal itself. I love this last little piece. Krishnamurti says, experiment and you will see. It's natural that there are things about ourselves that we'd like to work on, make improvements. The thing is though, when we carry judgment, shame, guilt about these things, then it's impossible for us to see everything that's there. Because how do you look at a thing that you're also judging and criticizing and feeling shame and guilt about? How do you clearly look at a thing and have awareness while you're also trying hard to look away from this thing? We only get to come face to face with every part of ourselves when we can put down the judgment, the criticism, the shame, the guilt. Only then do we get to see everything that is there. Awareness born of love. And that is when we very naturally make the changes that we want to make. very naturally then we make new decisions. Because why would we not make better decisions if we really love ourselves this much? Awareness born of love, says John Welwood. This is the only force that brings healing and renewal. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for acceptance and allowance for every experience this body provides. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this journey of really becoming so clear about our old knee-jerk reaction that feels like if we want to make changes, we need to be hard on ourselves. We need to judge and criticize every little thing we do so that we can do better. Thank you for learning. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this journey that shows so clearly the opposite. That the way to boldly make change is love. To love myself so much that making better decisions becomes the obvious thing to do. Take a deep breath in. And thank you for learning that love always goes hand to hand with an awareness that has no judgment. An awareness that sees all, doesn't miss anything. Warts and all, we can call it. Yet, no judgment, no condemnation. Perhaps only like a nudge in the right direction, with a smile and a wink. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being a part of this journey. I want to ensure you once again, if you can sit and have an experience with all 5 your physical senses and not have judgment or criticism with this simple exercise, then you can absolutely, take time, slowly, over time, extend that non-judgment to every one of your senses, the outer senses as well as the inner senses, the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions. Thank you to everybody. There were so many names across my screen. I will miss most of you if I start now, but I'll try. Thank you, Sunmarie, Stefan, Anna-Marie, Estelle, Charlene, Anthony, Maggie, Danae, Grania. Have a beautiful day. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And I'm sure that this is something we're all getting better at. Being able to look at every part of ourselves with just a little bit less judgment and condemnation. Thank you, Nella. It's so good to see you. Have a beautiful weekend. See you again soon. Ciao, ciao.